Paid publicity you can get, but where is the money? Huh? You don't have the money. Young entrepreneur don't have the money. I mean, if you look at the amount of advertisement money which Audi or Volkswagen will spend in the last year to enter the car market, it's just phenomenal. Can you afford it? Nobody can. So then a young entrepreneur is always fighting against competition and money is short. So I'll tell you why. Now, another very interesting example, which might be relevant to you. My wife is involved with mentally challenged children for the last 25 years. She's working on it as an NGO. And she was involved with the National Olympics, Special Olympics also. But 7-8 years ago, all the parents always tell us, we have to keep anything. Today we are living, but who look after these mentally challenged children after we pass away? So that was one question. And so that so then she got into it about 7-8 years ago to raise up a separate school for mentally challenged. And that she raised 3.5 crores, and that school is now in Sector 36. I don't know whether somebody.
Yes, it is 35 and 36 roundabout.
That roundabout.
Yes.
35. Opposite. She wanted to make that basketball court and that skating ring out. I said, let's flop that to those 4 basketball posts with a 5-meter overhead are unique, colored, fancy, jazz, and with that everyone passing by saying, yesterday. The curiosity got going and we got moving. So so lot of you are young entrepreneurs, so these are things which can help you into doing a thing of that nature. Anyway, so that is that. So then question is, we got this, even then, this one, slightly. The exhibition was in Delhi, Prakti Maidan, somewhere in 1974, 73. So there it was this stall to the Soraika. Use that full scale, massive flags, all these things were done. Then we also made the special trailer and tractor trailer in which everything could be done, and we could do village to village demonstrations. 2 demonstrations a day. These boards, Swaraj board, can be lifted up to full height. So at the entrance you put it mounted there, show the board up. Samajh? Implements got unloaded, tractor goes on for a trial, the show demonstration. Flag masts are carried, those poles are there. The chassis itself was a fuel tank. You could carry about 100 liters of the chassis. So they could run to demonstration there comfortably. And everything, all this was basically towards doing everything cheaply without spending money and doing faster job. Then this is one part of it. Second part, when it came on, I was really worried because when we started, the tractor was going to be in Punjab, when we started Mathur, PTA was being set up. Everyone here, the general part, everyone here, right? अवते स्वराज ट्रैक्टर बनेगा ही नहीं, बनेगा तो चलेगा ही नहीं, चलेगा तो पीता है. I was mortally scared. बना तो लेंगे, that was quite good, बनता है. Technically also it was better than any other competitor. That also I was quite clear. But then question, it's not my bloody hand now. It has to be bought by somebody else. How do you sell it? Of course, I can publicize, I can do all that thing. But then how do you buy it? So then came in, I went to Ahmedabad. I went to Ahmedabad. And this would be 72, 73. Spent the whole day there. Any work done? No. I asked them, have you got any? They started that way here. They started a specialized course in marketing, agriculture, rural marketing or something. And some of the boys from PAU, the first graduate batch, they've joined there also. And we started we were adding 40 graduates a year in PTL from 72 onwards. And they remained with us all. About 10, 15 out of them, about 20 or 25 of them will remain with us all life. Then 15, 20. But we were adding these engineers right from 72 onwards till maybe 94, 95, somewhere, oh long. So PTL had tremendous strength of engineering talent was large. So when they and the graduate trainees which we had taken on, all were at standard, and we were paying better than anything around, was something like 600 rupees also a month, salary, 666. I am Ahmedabad, just because he had done 1 year like advanced diploma, wanted double that salary. Asked him, look, yeah, the first topper had joined us, second had gone for this advanced course, 1 year. I said, look, how will you feel? How will that guy feel? And he's quite happy, really happy. No, but this course. I said, okay. So we never took an MBA school. I went in to study all the Harvard case studies on rural marketing, tractors, this, that. Then I remembered I met a friend way back, a Dr. Chancellor, who was from one of the American universities, but he was a UN consultant in Thailand, then in Rice Research Institute in Bhubaneswar, and very sensitive. So I wrote to him, I said, Doctor, I don't know, any guide can be, all your experience can you guide me out? He wrote me a long letter. I remember it in thin rice paper. Those days there were no, it was all post and thin rice paper. So I said, nobody can help you, nobody can guide you, forget it. The only thing I would, in my experience, the best thing you can do is organize top class servicing, immediate prompt servicing, and see that your tractors are quality wise behaved. So this was the latest. So that is how we did our servicing. We ensured first 3 years, we only marketing within a radius of 250 kilometers of Chandigarh. Maximum this side was Muzaffarpur, this side was Fazilka. So total. So that our spare parts and any call which we got till 7 o'clock at night, our office was open till 10 o'clock at night. These mechanics, etc., with spare parts were there next morning by 9 o'clock. So attention to the customer becomes the most important part of life. Because if you have one satisfied customer, see all of you are IT, I am not an IT caliber, please understand, but all of you are related in that area. I am more a manufacturing man, but getting the first customer satisfying is a very tough game. It's not an easy game, and unless you satisfy and see. So the first customers, if you look at it, should be around, you can't be far away. Build your strengths around people who are easily accessible. And secondly, another thing which later on I was involved in entrepreneurship across the country, make no question about that, all over, IDBI, IDBI, ICICI, FCI, everyone, DDB, DST, PSC, name it, must have got involved with promoting maybe thousands of entrepreneurs, at least hundreds, no question, 100 could be PTL itself. But the two things which another point is, a partnership of two people as an entrepreneur, mentally complementary, is a good thing. But on two is tough. Our experience has been that any more than two has always been. I emphasize the only case which I have seen is a total exception in which there were 5 entrepreneurs. I don't know whether they came straight or they came one after the other. Ye bhi ho sakta hai. Somebody takes the plunge first and the other keep on joining. I haven't studied that part of Ryan Moti's exercise, but it's a very rare thing for 5 to. Otherwise, this fighting starts. And complementary skills. So that 2 is a big strength. Because you have highs, you have lows. You want somebody to sound your, before you take a decision, you want X, Y, Z. So that is another part of it. So that is how life is like, and that is how we went along. And then the second point, I think I talked a bit too much, but the other thing which later on, an entrepreneur who's successful, once you're successful, to me, he's an SOB, full scale. That success God gets into his damn head. And he feels everything which he touch will turn into gold. Everything. I mean, that's what, if you look at it, that's what the general entrepreneurs, and see it all over. I have seen it a number of times. And that's the time which he's cutting his own, if he does. So it's time, I learned my lesson. Let me also tell you that. By 1970, we declared, PTL declared its first dividend in 1978. And we were expanding, we had expanded to 3,000, 5,000. And the worst sufferer, we were really heading above everyone else. But in this crash, we went absolutely down the blacklist. We had in 82, 1,700 tractors in the yard. 1,700. That time we were producing, I think, 1,700 tractors a month. But 1,700 tractors in the yard. Maybe 600, not even so. And outstanding payments due to vendors. 1 year outstanding. 1 year outstanding. And so one day I took in my R&D, chief head of it, went on and saw what met, I don't know, in the next 3-4 days, met 500-700 customers all over the road. What, why, how. And then we realized that in this euphoria of growth, we had lost track of quality. And that's when we started this TCAM exercise in 1983. The total quality. PTL was in the country, Punjab Tractor was the first to get into take total quality as a strategy. To be absolutely by far, no question about that. And 1985 Mazda exposure came in. Mazda, I mean, at that crisis point, like they had a massive problem with the oil, the oil, first oil inflation. 1975 or 74, the first time oil prices went. So the owner had to go away, bank took over Mazda. And then the new president, first professional president took over. So they said, in the new, we introduced a plan called 30% improvement plan. When we signed the agreement, they had one hour session they had with the quality chief of Mazda Corporation. Mazda was a global corporation, no question about that. And innovator, rotary engine, only manufacturing the world on rotary engines, this guy. So then he said, man, this new president of Ford, he introduced first of it, 30% improvement plan. What do you mean? He said 30% improvement in performance across the board in every area, compound year by year, 30% improvement year by year. I mean, looked at that, we were 3 or 4 of us. And I said, what was the result there? He says our time to design from concept to commercialization, the car at that time used to take us 12 years. We now come to 3 years. Inventory used to be 2.5 years, now come, it was whatever it was. I mean, everywhere, inventories come down, this has come down, time to produce a car, and we have seen the most productive car plant in the world was put up at Mazda. That time, before we went into Mazda to sign the agreement, I just studied also what is the most productive car plant in the world. The most productive car plant in the world that time was 50 cars per man per year. That's the standard assembly line of a car. If you look at it, automotive trade, the standard assembly line is 300,000 cars a year. जो भी आप देखिए, मारुति भी करती है 300,000 कार के लिए करती है, जो भी करते हैं, because that is 1 car per minute. All parts are produced 1 part per minute. So it is 300. That's how it will come 300,000. You calculate it comes that much. The rounded off figure 300,000. So see, then they had the sheet metal is produced outside. This is assembly line only. The productivity 50 cars per man per year was BMC Mini, now become I think BMW Mini. BMW take on BMC. So, and sheet metal, so Mazda just put up this new plant called the Hofu plant. Their productivity was 120 cars per man per minute. Per year, 120 cars per man per year. And they were making the sheet metal within it also. From raw roller stock, everything totally automated, highly automated. So that is the sort of productivity they could do. That was the engineering scale of that company. So he tells me he fixed the goal, 30% improvement per year. When I came back, I talked to my colleagues. I said, look, yeah, look, Buster told me 10-14% or something. Yeah. Let's fix up a board. Yeah, the people will make, if I tell you, you will make, you call me mad. Let's fix up 25% board. This is okay. Thereafter, everywhere detailed improvement was that level, 25% a year. We became the highest player in the stock market. Our stock appreciated 3,000 times from the 1974 to 1997. The stock market capital appreciation was 3,000 times, not percent. That's how it has grown up. That's what life is like. So I'm saying this quality TQM exercise, which the school which is there, TQM school in Mali, is something of this nature which we really have to work towards. If today you have to work towards it, you have to go aggressive. सबसे पहले तो बड़ा होने के लिए ambition तो चाहिए ना. Unless you have large ambition, how can you grow? You can't. मतलब मैंने रोटी खा गया तो सो गया तो फिर क्या होगा? I think I've talked now. Let me give it a search. Leave the floor. You better ask.
So we'll open the floor to questions, and we have some questions.
I've talked about. Everything is percent of sales. No? Marketing expenses, percent of sales, this and this. Now, and every year, the material, somewhere the material costs have come down, somewhere the material costs have gone up, sale price has gone up. These percentages, no comparison, year to year you can't compare. I hope am I making sense? You can't make any comparison of year to year because material costs are different a year, selling price are different, everything happens. So you really have no, it's just a figure. So usi mein, way back, this will be somewhere around early 70s. UK had set up a royal commission. UK had set up a royal commission headed by the chairman of ICI to study the science manufacturing industry in Japan has grown up after the war, while UK industry has gone down the cut. UK is no manufacturing industry. I mean, look at it, UK is finished. Not energy, no, unless it is steel. If it is steel making, you will obviously, energy is a major component. So, so there they found out that then you analyze the ratios, they analyze the ratios across the board. They found out that Japan had always seen to it that their wage costs, all wage costs, were remained 25%, less than 25% of their value added. All other office expenses, again 25%. So these two combined 50%. Then 4% was always dividend paid. Depreciation was something like 5%, 4%, 5% depreciation, standard. Financial costs 7 to 8%, 10% max. So that left the rest. Rest will be somewhere around 20% or so. That was left as a net margin, net profit, net cash for expansion and growth. Somebody, you get that? Yeah. That is available to them. While the UK industry, in this field, in the same 20-year band, the human expenses had gradually increased from 18, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50% plus. अगर वो 50% plus हो गया, and your this costs other office expenses, another 20, remain 25%. So then you left nothing for expansion and growth. So you got to die. So that is what I did that analysis of PKL in 1981-82. First time. And since I did this, I said, we do this. Our wage costs, they have gone up to 34%. Our office costs, other costs were not. They were okay, 20-25%. And below 25. And then finance costs were 10-12%. Little on the high side, but not too bad. But we were really in a tight jam. That is when we started, look, now we must attack this. Thereafter, we kept on attacking the productivity movement, which means what? Human cost will come up only if you improve productivity, no? Out of India.
From there, we request JBG to come and share the questions the gentleman has for. We are halfway through our session, so we have another 45 minutes. Take on the questions.
I thought we will give you something to think of. This value addition thing is there also in this book. And this fact of one more point, which is very important. Another point which I found, and even now I find it clear, this computerization has spinning out so much of data which is no relevance to any manager. Because a manager will act on something which remains in his head. I hope you will believe me. Unless it sticks into my head, I will not act on it. I'll forget it, it is too complex. So first part is that, and when you look at it further, a little deeper, comparison of any two figures, any two, which are one column apart, is very difficult. So if you want to compare properly, max distance should be third